When a crypto exchange is hacked for $200 million, people understandably want answers. How did it happen? Can it be prevented in the future? And if you steal $200 million, how do you ever spend all that money? Isn't crypto traceable on the blockchain? Well, today we're going to answer those questions. Welcome to a Coffeezilla Christmas Day 10. We were going to do a silly video about Shark Tank, but since BitMart got hacked over the last few days for $200 million, I thought our time was better spent perhaps educating people about what happens when $200 million goes missing. I mean, that's a lot of money. With $200 million, you could buy like $10 million studios, maybe even 20 if you knew the right people. So these are no joke numbers here. The hack happened December 4th, 2021. We'll bring down the board here. It happened to BitMart, which is a crypto exchange, and it was first noticed by PeckShield Inc. on Twitter. They posted hot wallet compromised and then linked to a bunch of shady transactions out of BitMart. Now, for those who don't know, every exchange has two types of wallets. You have cold wallets and hot wallets. Cold wallets are offline and used for crypto storage, while hot wallets are used for everyday use and they're connected to the internet. It's important to know that hot wallets are more vulnerable to attack. Now, at first, BitMart was denying that there was a hack. They say, I repeatedly confirmed to you there was no hack. Did it get hacked? No, sir. But it didn't take long for the BitMart CEO to confirm there was a hack, and initially he estimated that the losses were about $150 million. This estimate would later rise to $200 million. Now, at the same time, they also paused withdrawals, probably to prevent a run on the accounts. And so now that there's been a confirmed hack, now what? Well, it's a race between the hacker and BitMart. In an event like this, there are goals for each party. On the one hand, you have the crypto exchange who wants to limit the damage done by making those stolen crypto assets hard to cash out. And this is done by all the crypto exchanges working together to flag stolen crypto and prevent these assets from being converted to fiat, aka US dollars or euros. And this is why whenever someone's hacked, you'll see a tweet like this. We will do our best to assist BitMart in the handling of this issue. If there are any inflows of related assets, we will report and assist in a timely manner. You see, these crypto exchanges have an incentive to team up and sort of protect each other, protect the herd. The idea being that if a hacker can never spend the money, it will discourage hacks of other crypto exchanges and encourage the hacker to return the funds, as happened with the Poly Network hack. If you remember, that hacker gave back more than $600 million in stolen crypto, in part due to the difficulty of moving those funds. Now, on the other hand, obviously, you also have the hacker who has much different goals. They want to offload those stolen assets as soon as possible and hide those $200 million, get it off their books. And how do they do that? Because I guess the obvious question is, isn't crypto completely transparent and traceable? Well, yes and no. While it's true that every transaction on the blockchain is captured and traceable, there's some tricky ways you can hide where the money is going and coming from. Enter Tornado Cash. See, Tornado Cash is the answer of how to hide where your money is going. I'll explain how it works in a simplified way to make this really easy. Imagine you're trying to track dollar bills, and so you mark them with a big X on the front of the bill, and so now you can trace them anywhere in the world. You might think that that would stop anyone from spending that money because now you can just trace them around the world. But what Tornado Cash does messes that up. Imagine Tornado Cash as one of these money mixing machines you see on TV that blows up all the money into the air and creates literally a sort of a tornado of money. How it works, how Tornado Cash works, is you go into Tornado Cash and you go ahead and you throw a bill in there. Let's say you give $1 to Tornado Cash. They will give you an IOU with a special code for it, so later you can come back to the machine and redeem it for exactly $1. At that point, what Tornado Cash wants you to do, after putting your money in, is just wait as other people use their service. Why? Well, let's say I'm BitMart or law enforcement. I can see that $1 goes into here, into Tornado Cash. And so I'm looking for anyone withdrawing $1 at the same time, right? Well, here's the problem. The longer the person waits to withdraw, the more people use this machine and withdraw $1, $10, $20, the more we don't know who is who. And maybe after a day, a month, a year, the hacker comes back to this machine, takes their dollar out and puts it into a new unassociated wallet. Well, at that point, maybe 10,000 people have come by and done the same thing. The question is, how do you track that? Fortunately, the answer is you kind of can't. Now, obviously, trying to launder $200 million is much different from washing $1. You got to wait a lot longer. You got to space out those withdrawals. You got to withdraw to a bunch of different wallets, not just one wallet. But The principles are the same. And so obviously this is a huge problem. Now, is it Tornado Cash's fault? They would say no. They would say millions of users use the platform legally and they just don't ask questions about where the money comes from. But I don't think many people will find that answer acceptable, especially not governments. Although it may not matter because since Tornado Cash is a decentralized protocol, you can't shut it down easily. Even the creators might not be able to shut it down. And this is exactly why, for a lot of criminals, Tornado Cash is their favorite way for laundering money. It's quite frankly stupidly simple to do, as sad of a sentence as that is. And going back to the BitMart hack, that's exactly what this hacker did. As you can see from the graphic, after BitMart got hacked, the hacker got a bunch of Ethereum and a bunch of tokens. They exchanged the tokens for Ethereum. They sent the Ethereum over here, and then they transferred it to Tornado Cash. At which point, you're kind of out of luck. This is the dark side of crypto that many people rarely confront. Crypto is an amazing tool. There are a lot of awesome innovations happening, but one of the downsides is that criminal operations are much better able to monetize and move money around. And that is something that needs to be addressed if governments are going to accept it. Now, as for the reason for this hack, 2 days later, the cause would be labeled a stolen private key, but they didn't clarify if that means a rogue employee or that they had emails hacked. Either way, Sheldon, the CEO, said that BitMart would cover the losses out of their own pocket. Obviously, this is just trying to soothe investors' fears, and time will tell if it works. But either way, it raises interesting questions about the implications of decentralized finance protocols. They're powerful tools, but the knife cuts both ways. Whatever they enable regular people to do, they often enable criminals to do. And how regulators will end up dealing with them will be interesting to follow. Either way, I hope you learned something from this breakdown of the BitMart hack, how it happened, where the money went, and whether I think it's likely that the funds will be recovered. I do not. Anyway, thanks for watching. Pump the stock. Let's get to 1 million to save the kids. Hope you learned something. See you in the next one.
Damn, okay. Getting by and I ain't got no bands, okay. Try your best, but you won't understand, okay.